Good day, everyone. I just want to introduce you all. Welcome to this new edition of Couchbase Ask Me Anything. So my name is Nyah Macklin, and I'm a developer evangelist at Couchbase. Today is January 24th. Ooh, it's the 26th. And we have the absolute pleasure of welcoming Emre Savci, who is the staff software engineer, a new promotion.
Thank you. Just get it.
That's right. It's brand new, everyone. So we all have to congratulate Emre. He's a staff software engineer at Trendyol. So here's a bio from Emre in his own words. So Emre says, I'm a staff software engineer who's focused on developing large-scale applications and platform engineering. So I mainly use Go, Kubernetes, Istio, Kafka, RabbitMQ, Couchbase, CNCF, and HashiCorp tools. So writing sidecars and runtimes that provide caching, service discovery, authorization, IAM, config, and secret management functionalities by extending Kubernetes, and also using CRDs, webhooks, and operators, and Istio in a large-scale environment. So Emre says that he's also very interested in software architecture, which makes a lot of sense given that he is a staff software engineer now. So he's probably going to be doing a lot of architecture these days. And we're just so happy to be talking to Emre today. So, all right, Emre, I'm gonna start you off with our first question for you. So tell me about your work at Trendyol. So what does your day look like? I know you were just senior just a second ago, but what does your day look like now that you are a staff software engineer? Or you can just tell me about your experience as a senior software engineer for the company.
Okay. First of all, I need to introduce my team and my responsibilities. We are developing the microservice routes. There are lots of almost 2,000. We have almost 2,000 people in IT department, and we have over hundreds of domain teams. I mean, they are developing the end user projects like search in Trendyol and or checkouts, payments, etc. Those teams have common requirements like caching. As you can imagine, in this organizational structure, we don't use only single language. We have a microservice architecture, and domain teams decide what language they use. So we have almost 4 mainstream language like Java, .NET, Go, and Node.js. So those languages and projects have their own common requirements like HTTP output cache. So almost every REST API has these requirements. So we tell the teams that stop developing your own solutions to common requirements, so we can develop a single solution to your requirement in a almost good way as possible as much, and we providing those solutions to teams. So one of the main responsibilities in our teams to develop those programs. Those are a program in the end. So caching, service authorization, service discovery, end user authorization, config secret management, which is highly required in a microservice environment, especially if you have distributed architecture, different databases, different data sources, etc. So we are developing those solutions. So my day mostly passing with helping other people how to integrate our own projects, how to resolve another issue when it appears. As you can imagine, we are like you said, we are on Kubernetes, and we don't want every developer to be expert about Kubernetes or Istio service meshes, etc. We providing them to solutions on by abstracting them. So if they have any help required, we getting them the solution. So I'm helping people. I'm writing documentations highly because developers need to read and integrate our solutions. We cannot help each individual person by person, so we need to have good documentation process. Other than that, I also, like you said, trying to architect our solutions in a distributed environment, we need to resolve those issues in multi-data center, multi-DC, multi-cluster, and multi-service mesh manner. We need to respect those requirements. So um, we need to make our solutions based on those conditions. So other than that, I also need to, I'm mentoring my colleagues, like my junior or mid developers, etc. We are doing pair sessions, introducing our own solutions and getting them into the work, making them hands dirty, etc. This is what my day looks like.
And I'm wondering, for those 3 requirements that you had mentioned, were those set by the company, or are those just best practices for you? Tell me a little bit more. You said like multi-service mesh and things like that.
Life gets there.
Mm.
Actually, before maybe 3 years ago, we are not in a multi-DC environment. We are not running in multi-DCs, but we threw an incident which is impact us, our thoughts and our architectures. So before that we had one data center and it goes down. It went down and it drastically affect our services, incoming money. How can I express that? I don't know, but
I
it's
know, I get it.
eventually we need to earn something, and when the systems go fully down, we cannot do that. We decided to separate our services. We don't want to be SPOF, single point of failure. We don't want to see that kind of architecture in anywhere. So we are doing microservices. We are trying to be high available, but on the other hand, on the edge side, we have a single point of failure architecture. So we decided to run on multiple data centers. This make this this is the main reason to run on different data centers. So
when did you come across Couchbase in your experience? And I know you're repping your Couchbase shirt today.
yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned this.
That's right. It looks great on you. So glad to have you.
Thank you.
So when did you become aware of Couchbase?
I worked on different teams in Trendyol in almost 7 years. My first team was delivery team, which makes the integrations between the courier companies and our delivery systems. After that, I move on the marketplace team, which is the marketplace team, which handles the sellers, products, etc. And that team was using Couchbase, and it's still using Couchbase. And I get aware about the Couchbase when those times. So it is the starting point for me to use Couchbase, and I in that day when I see they using any other database than like relational ones, so I started to learn Couchbase in my marketplace team.
Okay, so it was other developers and working with other teams that had introduced you to Couchbase, and you were like, this is an incredible database as a service. Also, we have a number of different products, and you were really impressed by that.
Yeah, absolutely. And those impressions never went down. It's always going up.
I love that. Thank you so much, Emre. We try our best, as always.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
Thank you, my friend. That means the world. That means the world, truly. So it seems also you've been so impressed by Couchbase that you have decided to become a Couchbase ambassador, and begin to evangelize about Couchbase and tell other people about, what we're able to offer, and hopefully, our products are helpful to other senior developers like yourself, staff developers like yourself. So what was your first aha moment with Couchbase? Like, what got you hooked? What were you like, oh, I'm definitely going to, try to become an ambassador and try to tell more people about Couchbase?
Well, it's not my first aha moment for going ambassador, but
yeah,
its first aha moment is what I can write SQL to query my unstructured data. So
That's right.
that is wonderful. I don't need to
Oh,
learn anything new. So I can use my SQL language, structured query language to query over a JSON data. Oh, that's wonderful. I will learn this. Okay, that was that time I starting to love Couchbase, and after that I saw other technical good improvements in Couchbase, like async indexing, uh, automatic partitioning for data, which is quite important in our working way, because we always first think about the horizontal scaling. Scaling is almost everything for us, high availability and scaling. And what Couchbase do this already without doing anything, so that's okay, that's good. And after that, I saw the secondary indexes and views, and what I can manipulate the data with JavaScript. That's wonderful. I can act the data change, state change on a Couchbase UI. Okay, that's good. Eventing, okay, that's wonderful. I love this product. And at that moment, when I saw the DCP on the Couchbase, which you can stream data change, it's like a change data capture for Couchbase, and they DCP. You can stream the data change memory to memory, any other sources. So that was really wonderful for me, and our team really like it, and they even wrote a open source project based on Couchbase DCP. Maybe you are yes, maybe you are aware about the GBAS, which we pronounced as GBAS, Couchbase to Elastic Connector. It's currently written in Java, which is especially when you spawn multiple instances. So our team wrote it in Golang, rewrote it in Golang using DCP and Go Couchbase packets, and that runs now smoothly in our clusters.
that's incredible. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you really love the Couchbase so much that your team also created an entire open source package, right? To be able to
Yeah,
use.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's so phenomenal. I love it. And now, yeah, go ahead.
We are loving the Couchbase offerings.
Oh, good. That makes me cry. Thank you so much, Emre. All right. So you also mentioned that you really, really love Golang as well, right? So Go for sure. It's a language for those who don't know, a coding language, programming language. So why is Go one of your favorite programming languages, right? And what have you built anything else on Go that you're very excited about?
Uh, so there are multiple questions. Let me say that I before Golang I was writing with Java and
Oh,
.NET and even the Node.js with a little bit.
yep.
I really love the Java .NET. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot say the exactly same thing for Node.js, but anyway.
It's fine. I understand. I'm a JavaScript developer. It's not the best. TypeScript for
But
me.
on the other hand, Golang has a something special, which it is simple.
Yeah.
It uses less memory compared to its competitors.
Yeah.
uh, I remember my first Go program, when I ran the program and opened my activity monitor, and I couldn't see the program in listing there, so I thought that I didn't start the program. I saw in the end of the list, it isn't it it is even not using 1 MB of memory. So I said that I need to spend 1 GB of memory, the exactly same program in Java. So I decided to use Golang after that. Um, it's simple and straightforward language when once you get it in. Uh, it has a very simple concurrency architecture on the end side. It's quite complex on the other side when the implementation side, but as an end user, I mean developer who uses a Golang, it's quite easy to write concurrent programs. On the Java or Sharp side, you have almost three other options to write a concurrent program, but in Golang, it's just simple as writing Go keyword on any before any function. So this is why I love Go. I can get stuff done using Golang, and it performs well, uses less memory, compiles quite fast, and uh, because I'm using most of the CNCF tools, and which are probably written in Golang, it has first class SDK support with Go. So I can easily integrate any application using Go. This is the reasons I love Go.
Yes, so same. I used to be a Go backend developer as well. And one of the biggest things that I loved about Go was, number one, you could do so much in such a small package. And it's also super fast, like super fast to run. So it is an excellent programming language. So I completely agree with you on why you love Go. It's a great language. Those of you who haven't tried Go, try writing code in it.
Exactly.
You are also a contributor to several different open source projects, including Fiber, Fast HTTP, Customize, and REST Sharp. So what do you think are why do you think that it's so important to contribute to open source?
Well, it's contributing to open source means also you are contributing to yourself, because there are wonderful developers out there, and they are developing excellent codes, excellent projects. And when you start to read someone else's code, you get a lot of viewpoints, you get a lot of new ideas in your head, and you see other approaches, best practices, something different but magical but useful things. Like I saw once a code that makes zero allocation for string conversation between the string and arrays. So I'm fascinated with that. So I believe that contributing to open source has a lot of benefits for developers. Like you get you get another network for yourself. I'm in a lot of Discord channels like Fibers. They are very welcoming. A lot of open source project is communities as very welcoming persons. You improving yourself. Also, you are improving the tools that you use and other people use. So you are helping indirectly to peoples. So this is the reason I contribute to open source.
Yes, I'm such a huge proponent of contributing to open source. Like you had mentioned, when you do so, you're helping the entire ecosystem, right, become better. And we're supporting other developers when we contribute to open source. We are supporting different projects as well when we contribute to open source. So thank you, Emre, for leading the charge in many ways, both on your team, but also outside of your team, and making sure that open source is a large part of your tech career. That's really, really important.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm not doing so much, but I wish I can do better.
We will all.
We can always do better.
Exactly. We can always do better, and that's all we can do is strive to do better as well. I'd also love to know: are there any like new technologies or trends that you're following right now?
Yeah, nowadays I'm trying to keep up with the eBPF. Maybe you are aware of it.
Yeah.
Now it allows us to write code runs in the kernel space, and we can do a lot of things, like especially about the networking. We can use eBPF about the observability stuffs. Um, it because I'm working with the platform, it's quite important us to provide ways, solutions to developer that they don't need to write any code. So we are abstracting away the implementation details. So eBPF, on the other hand, provides us these capabilities, especially with a high performance, because it runs in the kernel space. This is one technology. On the other hand, after the ChatGPT's developments, the LLM and the ecosystem around that evolved a lot of, and I'm actually looking from those topics, looking to those topics. I'm trying to create a personal AI assistant, like something. I'm trying to learn RAG, retrieval augmented generation. I'm teaching my books and articles to a local LLM and trying to search over it, generating abstracts, etc. And I have some project in my mind to eliminate the support burden on our teams, which I will teach a local LLM with our private documents, and write a bot that answers any given support question. So this is the text I was working on it recently.
Yeah. That's really incredible. So thinking about using large language models, and that's what LLM stands for those who might not know.
Yeah.
Using LLMs and large language models specifically to help your internal team as well. So training that LLM on the internal documentation for your team, and then creating a bot that will then be able to answer questions for your team and help your team learn and onboard and learn more about the ecosystem at Trendyol. That's powerful. That's super powerful, Emre. Wishing you the best of luck in that work, man.
Thank you. It's quite challenging, especially if you take the math lesson 3 times in college, in university.
That's
Because
right.
the large language models and neural networks completely based on the high level maths and
Exactly.
statistics, which is I'm not good about it. I
That's
have
okay.
linear algebra and
Yep.
mathematic books right behind me.
Wow.
I'm starting to read math again for just for these topics.
So same, don't worry. Right behind me, it's all blurred out, but I have an entire library. You might not be able to see here, but I have an entire library of books as well, where I'm teaching myself LLMs and machine learning as well. So we are both trying to understand all of these newest trends. And it's really exciting too. So yeah.
May the force be with you then.
Thank you. And you as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Perfect. Do you think that artificial intelligence can make developers' lives easier? You kind of answered that.
Yeah, definitely. Artificial intelligence will and already doing developers' life easier. Used to in the presentations in universities or developer networking events, etc. When the people ask me, "Will the AI replace us in near future?" I say, "No, AI cannot do much. We can unplug it from the electricity." But I start to deep dive the LLMs, large language models, and AI applications, artificial intelligence applications. I saw the power behind it. I now I couldn't imagine how far it can go, and it will definitely prove a developer who take advantage of the AI on or any AI based application. Uh, Even the copilot will improving the developer's life almost to maybe 30% is in the lowest size.
Yep.
It's quite makes you faster. It makes you faster, which means it increases the time to marketing for companies, etc. It's definitely make developers' life easier.
Yes, 100%. And I've seen that same thing as well. I know that many people, you had mentioned Copilot, GitHub Copilot, and many folk are using Copilot to then augment and help them write their code, right? So like you mentioned, go to market so much faster for folk. This like using these models are really, really helpful for folk who might not know a particular language or trying to learn a new thing. I know you had mentioned ChatGPT as well. Claude is another one. There are lots of different large language models and artificial intelligence tools that folk are using. So I think that this is a really incredible way to, I personally also don't think that it's going to replace us developers, but I do think it could help us really like supercharge our tech careers as well and make us iterate faster too. So
yeah, those are like the third or fourth arm for us.
Yes, exactly. And you also know that Couchbase is also, we have a new generative AI solution as well. So have you gotten a chance to play with our personal Capella IQ? And was it pretty easy to use and set up? How was your experience with that?
As you already know, we are on-premise users of Couchbase in my company, and recently I used the Capella IQ, and it was fascinating because almost after the 3 clicks, I was able to generate my question. Within the 3 or 4 click, I set up my database. I set up a test bucket with
Come
the
on.
data, and I
Yes.
started to querying data without writing any query. So that was
Wow.
really wonderful experience.
Mm.
You know, I worked for developer experience almost 4 years. I'm working
Yes.
with them still,
Yes.
and it is my main focus for years. And it's a really good experience for developers. I don't touch my keyboard. I just use my mouse and set up a new database, set up new bucket with the all pre-filled data, and try to start to querying those data with the Capella IQ.
Ooh, that is powerful, right? Being able to set up all of this infrastructure in, like you had mentioned, 3 or 4 clicks. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's almost unheard of, right? For that to be able to happen. So that is really huge. I'm glad you're liking Capella IQ.
I really like it, and I'm in the IT industry for 7 years, and I'm
Yes,
writing codes almost over 10 years. And
absolutely.
sometimes I'm saying the new generations is quite lucky because things are not easy in our times. Now I'm not an older person. I'm not too old, but even I can say this word, this sentence, because things really got easy with the new tech, leveraging AI applications, etc., and the cloud provisioning quite developed in times, and Couchbase really do on the cloud side.
I absolutely love that. And so you can really see how Capella IQ, for example, could make developers' lives easier.
When on the first see, I
Yes.
just thought that it just generating queries on the
Right.
browser,
Right.
the web UI. But when I saw the generate SDK code, I
Mm-hmm.
thought, what? Now it can generate code. I
Yep.
thought it will be predefined things, but it can change the code according to your prompts. So it definitely generate your SDK code. For me, I tried to generate Golang code, and I give it a prompt, and it queried the data, showed me the SQL plus query, and after that, I click the query, generate the Golang SDK code. It gives me whole Go code that can connect to Couchbase class, query, start to bucket query the data, and return that data with Golang structure. So I say, okay, this is it. Now it can really make my Go developments far faster than right now.
Wow. Okay, this is it. Everyone, you heard it here first. Thank you, Emre. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is super exciting. I'm so glad you're liking the product so far.
Yep.
Say, okay, you were trying to build out something either similar to Capella IQ, or you could add a single feature to make IQ better. What would that feature be?
Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can try to take prompt from the user and provision entire infrastructure with that. So users not even to
Yeah.
click create database, they
Okay.
just write it down.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe automating that process help more better, and it makes the things more magically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want a database that consists of those type of datas, so generate me that infrastructure, and that will be really nice.
I love that. Yeah, easy, quick, like that can really expedite people's process. I love it, Emre. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're going to pivot again. Thank you so much again. We're going to do a little bit of a pivot, and let's talk about the events that you've been putting on. So you have organized a NoSQL day with Couchbase just last month, I believe in December, which was a massive success. So how was that process of creating an entire event?
Well, the process was quite easy for me with the
Come
help of
on.
the Couchbase team, because the help of the uh, especially the Charla and Brian constantly wrote me about it if there anything they can help. They did, especially the Couchbase Turkey team, Charla and the other guys helped me a lot. So from the logistic to giving some surprises to attendees, and they even provide um, I don't know the exact word for in English about it. Never mind. I just say meal
That's
for that.
okay. Yes.
We had pizzas for attendees, and that
Always
was
good.
wonderful. Um, on the other hand, they quickly arrange a cameraman setup, and we record the whole event, and that was a quite professional team. I really impressed about it. Um, Event was good. Actually, the I got a lot of positive feedbacks from the attendees. So, uh, but I just bring the necessary people together, and the Charla and Couchbase team to take any other burden away from me.
That's beautiful. So it seemed like it was a smooth process. And what were some of the talks that y'all gave as well?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't catch you.
Oh, sorry. I said, what were some of the talks that y'all did during the day? Was anything really interesting?
The most interesting topics for me, the one of our teammates introduced to DCP, how Couchbase DCP works internally, and the other talk about uh, the Couchbase architecture. Um, Sorry, can we edit this,
Of
because
course we
later,
can.
because I forgot the name of the uh, guy I talked with
Yeah.
Chala. It
Yeah,
was a guy
that's okay.
from the Couchbase team. It's a shame for me. I didn't remember his name.
That's okay.
Ah,
That's totally okay. No problem.
can we check his
Yeah, you
name?
can check right now. Please do. That's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Um. Let me check
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, I remember Chagla.
Yeah.
Özgür. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Özgür. His name was Özgür. Okay.
love it.
Um. Okay. Now I'm continue to my talk.
I got you.
The second talk which
Yeah.
presented by Özgür is
Mm-hmm.
about the Couchbase, and he mentioned the Couchbase architecture,
Mm-hmm.
Couchbase internals,
Okay.
like how you can architecture a Couchbase cluster with active manner, because Couchbase provides us that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are the two main topics that I remember. Of course, there are other things that,
Fair.
like I mentioned about the Couchbase ephemeral buckets, and how you can handle millions of caching requests uh, for with Couchbase, because in especially in Turkey there are other technologies that used to provide caching solutions, like there are some well-known technologies that provides in memory holding data, like Redis, etc. But Couchbase can do that, and maybe can do better with several aspects. Like it can handle it in multi data center. So, um, and the one other talk given by my colleagues is about how we real time react to change and make actions on it using the Couchbase eventing. So those are the main topics. I guess there are a couple of topics too, but I don't want to mention everyone.
Of
So
course, of course. No, I get it. And those seem really, really interesting. And I'm loving hearing more about like not only the topics that y'all were able to present at, but the ease of the process of working with the team. And I'd love to know a little bit more about like what about Couchbase makes you want to host events, right? And tell the developer community about us.
Couchbase itself also has a good community on the Discord. If the any listeners, any attendees not joined yet, I really ask them to join, because there are a lot of topics going on there, a lot of questions asking and getting their answers. And I even joined them, and I talk with the community leaders and etc. So Couchbase itself already in has a community, and actively developing tools for communities. Like Couchbase has an IntelliJ IDEA plugin that quite makes simplify the development while you coding on your favorite integrated development environment, you don't need to get anywhere away. You just right in there, you can talk with your data on that plugin. It allows you to handle your database operations quickly, inspect the data, etc. So Couchbase already doing good. Before the ambassador thing and before the making events, I was a Couchbase Go SDK contributor. I make a couple of commits to that package, Go CB package, and you guys are already good in the open source side too. So uh, um, by the support of especially Brian and the open source community of Couchbase and the developer networking, I just decided to, okay, let's ask them how they find those thoughts, how they think about it, and they just give full support to me, and I said, okay, yes, now we can do a good event with that.
That means a lot. I'm over here tearing up.
Yeah,
it does mean the world.
That's mean a lot to me and to developers too, because like you can imagine, not every community or not every technology company does the exact same thing, but Couchbase is doing its best about it.
Yes, that part. And even one of the biggest things that attracted me to even come here and work for Couchbase, right? Like, I'm not on the sales team, right? Like, I'm never trying to sell anything, so throw that away. But like, one of the things that's so powerful to me about this place is that there's a very robust and invested community that cares about developers here, right? We care about our community. We care about making folks' lives easier as much as possible. We're going to try and build things that make their lives easier, and anything that we can do to help engineers in their various processes, we're going to do, right? Like, because we're a community and we're a team, right? We're all trying to work together. And it's really, really important that the people at Couchbase really believe that. And, remember, I'm not here to sell. I'm not even here to sell a company, right? I'm just here to represent authentically what Couchbase has provided me and the community that I've seen cultivated even during my interview and even during my interviews, to come onto the team. I was like, it's very, very authentic. It is not fake, right? People are really invested in making sure that you are successful. And I love that about this place. So that's just something that I'm glad that we both share that. And that seems to be the thing that attracted you to us and why you continue to evangelize with me and trying to tell more people about us. So I just wanted to show my appreciation to you in that moment.
Thank you. Those are quite good, kind words. Thank you a lot. And
it's true. Perfect. Okay. So let's also shift gears one more time. And I'd love to know a little bit about, like, what are some, so there are lots of senior developers who watch our streams and lots of mid-level and junior engineers as well. So what's one piece of advice that you would give to engineers who want to become senior like you? Or now you're staff. So who want to become staff like you? Yeah.
I have a couple of advices to
Please.
young developers or junior and mids or seniors.
Yep.
Any kind of person can follow those advices, I believe, because those are quite general and logical advices to me, especially. First, the communication is a game changer. It's a game changer skill that every developer must have, because we are writing code. This means that we are communicating with our computers, communicating with languages via language. We are also communicating to people. We cannot get away from that. We cannot hide ourselves from the other developers, because somehow our codes will be a tool for the others, tool for our end users, for our companies, tool for other developers. So we need to have a good communication skill. We need to express ourselves kindly and clearly. So this is some soft skill that we need to have. And other than that, always take decisions backed by data. So we are engineers, we are developers, we are building some things, we are optimizing some things, we are trying to do better. But remember that you cannot optimize something what you cannot measure. So we need to move with data. We need to take decisions with data. We need to make measurements. So always move with the data. This will make you a better developer, better engineer. You moving with data means that you have some proofs, right? You have two codes, which is better? The answer lies on the data. Which one is better? Answer lies on the data. And other than that, I can say that be inclusive. Don't blame people when you arguing something. Criticize processes, not persons, individuals, etc. Be proactive. Take responsibilities. Don't wait for someone to give you some tasks. Develop some new ideas. Try to improve some things. Don't say this is my job. Everything is always our jobs if nobody doing that things, and include others to your success, grow together. I can say those, right? Because being senior means there is a one key point that I constantly say about on the presentations. One of the most important skill of a senior developer is the making other senior developers that take your position. So you can go away from there, and there are other people that take care of anything else. So this is the key point, I believe.
Emre, you continue to drop gold, my friend. Gold.
Yeah, I guess those are not quite technical things, but
That's
what
okay.
makes us good developers and good persons not lies on the technical side.
Right.
I always say that you can take a person and make it average developer or good developer in almost 1 year, almost 6 months, but you cannot make a bad person a good person in 1 year. It takes a lot, or even the vice versa. It cannot, things cannot go like you imagined in a soft skills, right? Technical skills can be always improved.
Yes.
Improvable.
Yes. That's right. But it's about developing the person, right? Developing us, yes, as engineers.
Exactly.
I love that. There's so many nuggets of gold in there. I'm gonna be writing up so many different tweets and letting people know, and just, supporting folk, right? And the piece that you had mentioned about like developing up and empowering other engineers so that they could also become senior, and then they could help you and even in many places replace you, right? Just your goal is to support people so that they can feel empowered to do whatever they want to do. That
exactly.
Yes. Emre, you're the best. You're the best. That's why we're friends. Okay. That's why we're now friends.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew, but now we're friends. But yes, this is such a joy. All right. So now I have our last little fun rapid fire questions for you, which are going to be really quick, one after the other. And it's just going to ask you what your preferences are. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here are the rapid fire questions. Golang or Rust?
Okay. This is so easy. I don't need to think about it. I think you got the. You got the. Of course, Golang for me.
That's right. Golang all day, all day.
Exactly. Definitely.
That's perfect. Okay. Couchbase or Postgres?
Okay. Next. Of course, Couchbase. Both of those questions has an answer, which is it depends. It depends. It depends.
That's the right answer. Yeah.
But
yeah,
most of the time, I just generalizing the answers.
Yep.
I can do better with Go. I can do better with Couchbase.
Yeah.
There are, of course, other spaces that needs the advantages of Rust or according to databases, PostgreSQL features. But if you don't need ACID, atomicity, consistency, integrity, etc., that properties, if you don't need a highly relational operational data, if you don't need to constantly cross-joining tables, etc., you can always use, in any case, Couchbase. Because we can design our data in that way. Couchbase even provides transactions. So
yes, we do.
most of the people use relational databases for transactions and cross joins queries.
Right.
So we can achieve the exact same thing with Couchbase too. So
Yeah.
I said before, we are always thinking horizontal scaling, and Couchbase provides this easily. So I will choose Couchbase.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's right. Okay. All right. Next rapid fire one, SQL or key value?
Key value.
All right. I like that.
It will be faster
Yeah.
with the according to big O notation. So I'm an
That's
engineer and I'm choose the best.
the best for each scenario. I respect it.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And then this is a different one. Microservice or monolith?
Oh, okay. There is no one specific answer for this because it depends on your organizational structure. It depends to your requirements. Microservices is a good architecture, especially if you have an organization over thousands of developers. If you have a if you need highly scalable environment, highly independent deployability, organizational distributed organization, etc., you can go for microservices, and you need to go for microservices. But on the other hand, if you have 5 developers, you cannot implement the microservice with that organization. You can go for monolith. That
excellent point. It's all, like you had mentioned, it all depends. Yeah. So it depends on your company structure, depends on the architecture, depends on lots of different things. So I completely understand what you're saying.
And the budget.
Yes. Good
depends
point.
on budget.
That's right. Excellent point. And then another one, mono repo or multi-repo repository.
Okay. I saw the benefits and the drawbacks of both of the world. I can say again, it depends on your environment, organization, and project structure. If you have a different teams that works on the same repository, it creates a lot of conflicts and unseen hidden couplings, and probably you don't want that. You already have different teams. Why you make them couple some way? You can go for monorepo if you have one single team, one single project, or one different projects, but in a modular architecture. But on the other hand, go for multi-repo any other cases.
Yeah, I'm usually a fan of breaking things down as much as, well, not as much as possible, because of course, like you had mentioned, it depends. But there's definitely pros and cons to both. Okay. And my last question for you is, would you rather be a friendly and a welcoming staff software engineer or a closed off staff software engineer?
I will choose first welcoming and kindly, and even not everyone, but loved loved by the most of his colleagues. I will choose that person.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay, well, Emre, that is the end of our interview. I just really want to give you a hug through the screen, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me, and that was your end is always up, and that was really nice. Thank you for your kind words too. I really love the Couchbase. I hope people will love our talks. Thank you for everything.
Anytime. You are a blessing, and I'm so glad to work with you, and I'm so glad to have you as a Couchbase ambassador. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us for this talk, this Ask Me Anything with Emre, and we hope to see you in our community very, very soon. Have a wonderful day and take good care. Bye, everyone.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.